Hi there, and welcome to MS-DOS Game Reviews, where we play ancient games in an emulator and record the results for posterity. So today we are looking at Sub-Battle Simulator, and it's a good one. So it's a simulation, obviously, World War II, Germans against the Americans, and 268 kilobyte download. So there's a little bit of a description there on myabandonedware.com and some screenshots. So you can look at the how it looks on the various systems. On DOS, I actually set it up to be an EGA mode, so that's really nice. And there's some comments on the game as well. Some guys said that's really good and much better than Silent Server, so we'll give that a run. And then there's a manual, a 3 megabyte manual, and we'll go take a look at that now. So the manual, excuse me very much. So Sub-Battle Simulator, Top Secret Commander's Training Manual. And in the beginning is the introduction and what to expect, and then there's some appendices inside the game screen: help references, glossary, weapon information, and target book. So these things are important. This game, if you did not read the manual or you didn't print it out and have it with you when you play the game, you would be lost completely. So it tells you to forget you're running a simulation and just get into it, yeah? So how to start a Commodore, Apple, IBM PC, and then you should try target practice first, and then your simulation you can boot, and there are some various things you can try, but that's better for me to show you. So you start with a simulation of target practice. So you're not really zooming around the world, you just found some enemies and you are going to destroy them. So to play a single mission, you have to start a new game, and you can also do a wartime command, which you do multiple missions, and that is bound to take some time. This game does have a way of saving your games. Let's just carry on. Navigation, bloody blah. You can see the maps there, and then you can navigate with the maps, and then your total amount of fuel would be important. So it describes a little bit about this, and like I say, if you wanted to play this game, read the whole manual, the whole thing, read every word. It can't be understated. So they have a nice feature called time compression, and you control that with Q and W, because a lot of the action is very slow. You know, you're sailing around the world, chasing boats, and there might be a very small speed difference between the two of you, so it might take a long time to catch up, so you can compress that time. But it's very important to decompress time when you are actually starting to fight. So you can save Alt-S on IBM, and then loading Alt-L, and then you can press Control-Q or Alt-Q, and that'll abort the game completely. So then they have a historical perspective, and the German U-boats, what they normally do, specifications, and then bloody blah. So when you're target practicing, you target practicing in an American Silent Service sub. Okay, so you are firing Mark 14 torpedoes, and they have like a 60-something% dud rate, so half the torpedoes don't work, more than half the torpedoes don't work. So, and then it gives you some tactics, and American sub things, and 4 21-inch tubes forward, and then okay, so now you go onto the game screen. We can actually go check that out in the simulation itself. There's some gauges you can look at and what they do, and then you have a periscope view, a binocular view, and then what do they go? Tower view. Okay, sonar screen, radar screen, all your navigational aids. That helps a lot. And then there's a status readout, and then help references. So gives you the keys, what to press, and very important, like I say, if you want to play this game, get a copy of the manual. And then if you're running in DOSBox, you got to have 2000 or less cycles, otherwise the game just does not run. So there you go, EGA 2000 cycles, and then matching view to heading, matching heading to view, and then you can lock it with a shift and the same button. You can do mines if you're less than 100 feet deep, mission assignments, navigate to new game, and then you can do shore parties and all sorts of funny things when you play the big simulation. For the purposes of this thing, we'll just do a quick target practice, because that's all I've practiced. To be honest, I've got the game yesterday, day before, and I had a few goes at it, and lost my sub about 6 or 7 times. So it's not easy. It's not easy. Okay, so in the glossary, you have things that they mention and descriptions of what it is if you've never seen a sub or simulated one. So latitude, longitude, all sorts of cool stuff, and then weapon information. So you have the various types of weapons and how good they are. So range in feet. So it's got a sub weapons, and I'm using like a S class. It's got a 3-inch cannon with a 10,000 foot range, and then machine guns. I think so. No, I've got a 10-inch class. So it's got a 5-inch cannon, 14,000 foot, and then a light cannon for anti-aircraft. So that's fairly short. This is like the nicest sub they have. Torpedo summary, and this is the Mark 14 Steam, and it's a 62% dud rating, and that's what we're shooting. I think it's either this one or this one. Both of them are Mark 14, so nice long range on them, 13,800 foot. And then you have all the enemies, battleship, carrier, destroyer, escorts, deck guns, German enemies, American enemies, and then it carries on, and then you're at the end of the manual. So there's that. Okay, so how does it all translate into a game? Let's go take a look. A little bit of ad for the next game. Looks horrible, by the way. And beautiful high resolution, high color EGA graphics. And the game is still warming up, so battle stations, lookouts, report a contact, sir. So the first thing you want to do is go towards the contact. So increase the speed there, and that's with the angle brackets, and then you can steer a little bit towards the enemy, and if you press view, you put your binoculars on. That is the guy I want to take out. It contains aircraft, and aircraft makes your life difficult. So we'll run towards that. So as you can see, the range doesn't come down at all because ships are slow. So now we could do a W, and you can see 1 second now equals 5 seconds. So we've got a 5 times speed increase. which is really fast, but I'm not happy with that. Okay, we'll check again. Closer. That is definitely my aircraft carrier. That is the ship I want to sink. Okay, it's coming nice and close. So I'm seeing it's doing 6 knots. And what I want to do is when it comes in range of the torpedoes, I might sneak just a little bit closer. So I'm still on the surface here, full charge. Tower is sticking up. I'm sure they can see me. I don't really care at this moment. I just want to get in range. So it's getting near to the range, and 15, 14, 70. Still out of range, but it's getting there. And I've got my finger hovering over the... Okay, so we are almost in range now. So what I'm going to do, just a little bit to get it well within range, 1200 I think. And I can see where it's going, so just make sure he's selected, go down to proper speed, fires torpedoes 1, 2, 3. 3 torpedoes away. And now let's go take a look at the other enemies. He's out of range. He's out of range. So while we wait, we'll just crash dive. So torpedoes away, and while they're looking for me, I shouldn't be on the surface. Okay, so we're down. So of course now my radar doesn't work, but my sonar does, and my overview also. So zooming in one, there you can see my little torpedoes have left the coop, and we can speed up the simulation a smidge. Also see my speed comes down as soon as we dive. We switch over to electric, and they are not as powerful as the actual diesel engines that normally powers your sub when it's on the surface. So think of a thing more as a boat that has the ability to surface, to submerge, than something that stays below the water the whole time. So you can see my torpedoes over there sneaking towards the carrier. Let's see if we do some damage. So did I miss? Ooh, 2 torpedoes hit. And that carrier is gone. Alrighty. So let's decrease our speed to what the carrier was doing. We'll head up to the surface and see what we can see. So yeah, still underwater, and there's still a torpedo floating. I think it's just, hopefully it'll hit something. Okay, we're on the surface, and that is almost in range. That is not in range. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's done already. Okay, let's get some speed, change my engines to diesel, and see what we can see. Battery's charging, and we'll increase our speed. So now we are keeping an eye on the enemy, and we could compress time just a smidge. So because the carrier is down, there's no aircraft, so which is good. That's the craft I wanted to get. And this guy is in range, so I'm gonna give him a little surprise package. Not in range. It's coming in range now. Let's take a look at what these guys say. Out of range, out of range, out of range. Yeah, so target practice. Oh, he's in range. Oh, give him another. Okay. So we don't have to hang around on the surface for this. We can go down. Enter dives you down to your crash dive depth, which is 100 feet in this case. Going down. So you can look at the sonar. There's a few targets left. Or you could look at your, let's call it a map display. And because it's updating real time, it's actually really useful. A real subcommander would not have something like this. And the other thing we can look at here is your status. So I've got 16 mines, supplies for 90 days. I'm assuming everything is fine. And let's take a look at our status and compress time a little bit. Let's see what's happening. So we're still closing the distance. There's still some big targets out there. Compressing time a little bit more. And then just before the action, we'll put down torpedo 1 hit. And we wait. Compress time a little bit. There's something big in the back that's coming this way. Oh dear. Torpedo 3 hit. And so those boats each have a torpedo. And they look like they're still doing fine. So let's come up to the surface. Everything's reloaded. I still have a few torpedoes in the tubes. We're coming up to the surface now, so we'll run up to the bridge and see what we can see as soon as that says 0. So there's something big there. So we'll change the engine to diesel again. And that's a transport. So let's give him a little 1-2. And then there's an escort. Escorts are dangerous. Oh, that's out of range. That's not going to do anything. Purchase man 6 knots. Give him a little torpedo. Those are my 6. Oh, 4 torpedoes. Okay. Let's see what sort of range these guys are at. Coming closer. So yeah, we're just spraying torpedoes at them at the moment. And there's a destroyer. So 1, 2. Those are my 6 torpedoes. No use of hanging around on the surface. I'm coming up to the surface to help me aim. And yeah, we can compress time again. You can see my spray of torpedoes there. Going for the kill. And we'll speed up time again a little bit. So yeah, just from the battle perspective, there's a lot of different things you can do, and all you need is a little imagination to realize, you know, what you're doing, and you could be below vessels waiting, and yeah, if they're hanging around above you, just deploy some mines. If they're chasing you, you've got some torpedoes on the back. So 1 torpedo hit. And let's see. Torpedo hit 2. These guys are amazingly accurate. 3 hit. And the merchantman is down. So what's next? Oh dear, it looks like they're coming my way. So we might just use stern tubes. We'll spin around. We'll go the other way. Yeah, they're definitely coming my way. dropping my speed down. And torpedo 1 has missed. So now we're running away. And we can shoot the stern tube. Too deep to fire torpedoes. Let's come up. Yeah, that doesn't work. I've got to change not my speed but my view. View is sort of similar there, deploying a couple of mines, and we are still leaving the scene of the crime. Let's just tear away a little bit. Okay, definitely not a time. Yeah, that vessel is definitely going to go for me. So deploying some mines. These float up to the surface, so it's a way of shooting back. Okay. Let's get down to business. I'll change my heading back to them. And they might hit one of my mines, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for. Foot plenty. But too shallow for mines. And deploy a mine. So that ship is right above me. What we can do is a little bit of a... I'll just let him run faster. I'll put another mine or two out. Yeah, okay, so that escort is gone. And so we can head over to the surface again. See what we can see. Now I'll just look directly south. Get on the conning tower. Oh, come on. Okay, we are up there. And we'll give him a little hi-ho. And maybe a gun as well. So, we hit it. I'll try another one. And so, criticisms that I have, as I always do. Simulation speed seems a bit slow. You know, these screen update rate for okay, so that might be going down. There's a torpedo heading that way too. And give it one more. Maybe the torpedoes are dead, you never know. See, quite a lot of dud rounds on the deck gun. Makes the game a lot more realistic. Oh dear. That torpedo might get there before my guns do. Oh dear. I tell you what, let's go take a look at the other ships out there. We're changing to diesels, charging the battery, and let's see, my torpedo is still on my way there, so I'll pick up some speed and see if I can get hold of those other guys. So yeah, it actually feels fun to be like a hunter in the game. Normally I thought subs would just be like ambush prey, but this is actually, you have a much more sense of actually hunting your enemies. So let's take a look at what else is out there. It's far away, and there's a little destroyer coming my way. So let's line the ship up with my view. So it's actually a torpedo hit, and is it a sink? Hey, down she goes. So that destroyer is already shooting at me, and we're not quite in range of torpedoes. I'll fire a quick salvo. Oh dear. She's definitely not happy, and I wonder if I should just dive. Okay, so we'll see if I can avoid damage. Take a look at that ship that's heading towards me. We'll compress time a little bit. Let her run up, and then change my depth to about 50. And sonar contacts. Fire a torpedo, see what that does. There she goes, 1 torpedo, 2 torpedo. And cheekily uncompressed time. So it looks like they're going in the right direction. Come on, be a hit. Boom, hey, boom. Destroyer's gone. Okay. Well, look south, orient the ship the same way, come up to the surface, and go full speed. Change my engines to diesel, charge the batteries, and see what I can see. So now we're going to hunt down these guys as well. Almost out of tubes here, so sneakily gonna compress time and we'll run closer. So yeah, that gives you a good idea what this game is about. It really is a nice simulation type game. And yeah, of course the torpedo stops running. So we are now going in for the kill. 24, 21, 18, yeah. So looking at the map from above, we are definitely running up on them. I don't think they can do the 20 knots that the sub can do. Still, everything's fine. And we're coming within range, so slowing down. And you know what? Still have torpedoes. Use them. And we'll see what that does. So torpedo is running. Back onto the map. So there is another little vessel coming as well. But of course it's not the destroyer. The destroyer has got a much longer range, very accurate guns, which is why I was not hanging around on the surface there, because that would just be inviting disaster. And of course, yes, I wasted a torpedo because that first one sunk the destroyer, but I was not taking any chances. So we are almost within range of the gun. It's got another 9,000 foot range if I remember correctly. Oh, major damage, and she's gone. Alrighty, so now we're running up to this guy and closing the range. She's got 40 knots, I've got 20, so 6 knots closing. There's just no getting away. As you can see, I'm not reloading my forward tubes anymore. I've fired every forward torpedo I had, and I still have a bunch backwards. That was the name of the game. You just couldn't carry a lot of ammo in these vehicles and still be small and nimble. So we'll start firing our deck gun in a minute. Let's do firing and firing and firing. Yeah. Okay, so she might be gone. Take a look at that guy. Aim the vessel the same way. And now we're closing the distance. So let's compress time a little bit until we're close. So yeah, dun, 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 dun. Some Jaws music here would be fine, you know. Dun, 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 dun. Decompress time, gun again, gun. We'll just keep on firing. And she's gone. Alrighty. Standing down from battle stations, no need for speed. We can stop. And that is it. That's how you do your target practice. You literally pilot your sub. That was a lot of fun. Looking at my map, you can zoom out. Where are we? We are fighting. Oh dear, that's Australia. This must be somewhere close to Hawaii, I think. So yeah, you could sail around the world in your sub, meet interesting people and shoot orbs at them. So that's all good and fun. So Alt S, you can save, escape. Alt A for advanced, you can do yards and feet, sound effects, sonar pings, sonar radar references, that sort of thing. So I hope you guys liked this little video, and we'll see each other on the next one. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, and goodbye.